Well, hello everyone, I am B.O.B. and welcome to another Minecraft tutorial. And today, we're going to build a cow farm. Let's go, Bessie. Now, this is my semi-automatic cow farm, and I know what you're thinking, and you're absolutely right. A cow farm does not have to be this big. This is kind of a matter of preference. I hate having all my breeder cows crammed into one space, so I came up with this idea to store them in separate pens. And well, before I get too far ahead of myself, I do want to say I looked around on YouTube, and I am not the first person to come up with this idea. Prow8413 had a video on this a long time ago. And him and I have very similar models. I mean, there are some subtle differences as well, but you know, uh, being that he had this idea long before I did, I want to give credit where credit's due, and I will be linking his video in the description down below in case you want to check his out. Um, but well, yeah, the whole idea here was spread out the breeder cows so that way you're not trying to breed a whole bunch of cows crammed into one space, and then the babies will come down here into the kill chamber, and well, they just sit and wait to grow up, and when they do grow up, they grow into this lava pocket, which will kill them and cook the beef, and all your leather and uh, beef come down into this chest down here. Now, you do have the option to get rid of that lava pocket, let them babies grow up naturally, and then you can come in here and whack them with the sword, or feed them with wheat while they're in here, even whether the lava pocket is in place or not. So basically, it could be an automatic kill chamber or a manual kill chamber if you want that extra XP, or if you got looting 3 on your sword, whatever it may be. Now, just as a quick demonstration, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to breed these guys up. So I can reach actually 8 cows from this one location. We can come over here, we can breed up these 8. And then we got 8 more on the end here. What's great about this, when you look back, we can see which cows have bred and which ones haven't. If you still see love hearts, you know you gotta feed some more of those. And I only have these glass blocks in here so you can actually look down and see those babies falling into the hole. They don't actually need to be there. But yeah, I mean, this is a really simple build. I mean, 1 or 2 redstone components, but nothing real serious. Anybody could throw one of these together. Now, I got all your necessary materials for this build in this chest right here. You will need at least 1 chest for a collection. Uh, you might want to go double chest if you're going to be using it a lot. It's all up to you as to how much you want to breed, but as you can see, it does pop out a lot of cows really quick. Of course, you got to wait for them to grow or go down and feed them manually until they all grow up, but you kind of control the speed of this farm. You will need 2 hoppers to collect everything for you, and then 1 dispenser, 1 button, 1 trapdoor. Doesn't necessarily have to be iron. I just went with iron. I like the way it looks. 1 sign, 1 bucket of lava. You're gonna want quite a bit of water. At least 2 buckets of water for an infinite source, or just bring a stack of ice with you or something. You want about a stack of glass. It might be a couple blocks more, but that's all kind of optional. It depends on how you want it to look. You're also going to want about 2 stacks of slabs. They could be any slab of your choice. I don't recommend wood, obviously, because you're going to be building around lava. So some form of stone slab. And then a whole bunch of building blocks here again. Try and avoid the wood, at least in the area that the lava is going to be. But I didn't really do the math on this, so it might be 6 stacks, it might be less, it might be more. I'm not really sure. I am using 24 breeder cows here, so uh, I have the option to just throw in spawn in a whole bunch of cows. You might want to prepare in advance for this before you even start building. Maybe pen in a couple of cows and start breeding them up, so that way you got a little bit of a herd to work with to get started. You're also going to need a whole bunch of wheat, of course, for breeding. Now the area for this build I have outlined in smooth stone here, and that is 12 wide by 11 long. And what we want to do to get started is just come to this left hand side right on the corner. We're going to come one block away from the corner, and we're going to place a chest. Now if you wanted a double chest here, you probably want to place it long ways, kind of like this. But I'm just going to be placing a single chest in this, so I'm going to place it facing this way. And then I want to come around to the back of that chest, and what I want to do is crouch place 2 hoppers feeding into that chest. And then we need to build just a little foundation around this, so let's go ahead and use solid blocks and wrap the whole way around from one side of the chest to the other, including the corners, because when cows grow up, sometimes they glitch through blocks, and if you fill in those corners, that'll kind of prevent that from happening. Next, we need to bring this up just a little bit, so let's go ahead and just pillar up on that corner there, just 1 block, and come around here to the back. We're going to put solid blocks the whole way across the back, and then 2 more on this side right here. So we should be looking at this shape here. Now above our chest, we're going to place a glass block. You could use a slab here, but you absolutely want to use 2 slabs here in this opening. And this way we can reach the feet of the baby calves to either feed them or kill them once they grow up manually. Let's go ahead and get our dispenser in place, and we're going to place that right on top of our glass block here. And then we want a button on the back of that dispenser, so you want to crouch place that. And then we want to add another row of blocks across this back wall here. And then we're just going to pillar up on the front corners like this, 1 on each side there. Now we want to put in our trapdoor. We're going to put that on this block here, right on the top of it, so it should be facing right there. Next, we're going to get our sign, and we're going to place it right here on this block right below the dispenser here. So this little pocket right here is where our lava is going to flow. Next, we want to close in that area with just some glass blocks here, and those are entirely optional. You don't really need to have glass blocks. It's just nice to be able to see in there to see whether or not that lava's on. Of course, you could see it from this side clearly. But now let's go ahead and make sure that our baby calves cannot jump up on top of this trapdoor. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to place 1 solid block right here, a half slab on the top side of that solid block, and then another solid block on the outside. And the reason for this little setup here is if we were to put a full block here on top of this trapdoor, the baby calves, they wouldn't really bob up and down so much as just kind of get stuck on it. Like the full block hitbox prevents them from bobbing. Well, if they're just hitting the trapdoor, they will still bob up and down and eventually slip underneath that trapdoor. I'm not sure the reason for the mechanic. I just know that it works. But now we want to kind of cap this off on this side. I'm just going to do this with slabs. You could use full blocks, or you don't even really have to do it. I would recommend capping off right above where the lava block's going to be, but you know, that's entirely up to you. Next, let's go ahead and put our lava bucket inside that dispenser. And that is our kill chamber already complete. Next, we just need to put in our catch tray. Now we're going to do that is I'm going to use solid blocks here. And I'm going to come out, add 7 blocks to the side of this block right in the center here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I want to build a little lip around this 1 row of blocks here. So I'm going to start on this side and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're actually going to just wrap around the outside of this and bring it all the way back to the kill chamber. Next, let's come over on the other side. I'm going to start 1 block in on this block right here, and we're going to add 7 blocks to this. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we're going to come over here by our kill chamber again. We're going to do it on this block right here. Same thing, add 7 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we can just kind of bridge those 2 together. And next, we're going to come back over here to the side with our kill chamber on, and this block right here that's sticking up, we're going to build a lip off of that. So let's just kind of bring that back all the way to the back of the build limit, or the build area here, and then wrap that around here. and bring it up to the front, all the way up to the front of the build. So now you should be looking at this. So let's go ahead and just fill in that square right there. Now that's the main part of our catch tray. Now we do need to bring this lip up just a little bit. Now what I want to do across the front here, I'm going to just put an extra row of glass. Here again, the glass is all a matter of preference. If you want to be able to see inside there, or it's totally up to you. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to pillar up just one block on each corner with the stone slabs, and then fill that entire layer in with glass as well. Now we can start putting in the slabs that the cows are actually going to be standing on. So you want to actually just come one block away from the corner, and we're going to, right on the top side of that glass layer, you want to bring in 2 slabs, and then 1 block away, 2 slabs, 1 block away, 2 slabs, 1 block away, 2 slabs. And then in the center row, we're actually going to have to put in temporary slabs. So that one's going to be temporary. We're going to 1, 2. We're going to break that away. Temporary, 1, 2. Break that away. Temporary, 1, 2. Break that away. Another temporary, 1, 2. Break that away. And then just a few more platforms over on this side in the same manner. 1, 2. Skip space. 1, 2. Skip space. 1, 2. Skip a space. 1, 2. Now, let's go ahead and get our water put in place. Okay, so first we're going to come over here to the front. And in this lower catch tray here, we're going to put just 1 bucket of water in the end. And we should see that just flow all the way down to the end. And then for the rest of the catch tray, we're going to put our water all along this back wall. Of course, you could do just like every other space, or however you want to do it, go back and forth to create infinite water sources. But you should see this flows all the way down to the edge of that platform. And if you see this overflowing, well, you've probably miscounted, and you have to go back and do a rebuild. But just so you know, this upper platform should be 8 by 8 in the middle here. Next, let's go ahead and wrap another layer around the top of this machine of blocks, or top of this farm rather. And now we just want to build our platforms wherein we will be trapping in our cows. So basically it's just going to be a layer of slabs the whole way across the top of this thing, but we're going to leave gaps where the cows are going to stand. So bring them all the way across. And then, yeah, leave spaces in between these platforms. So, or on top, above those platforms rather. And you can just come back through and fill in these gaps. Do this the whole way across the farm. And then right here, I'm going to just put in those glass blocks like I have in my display model. Here again, not necessary. I just like to be able to look down and see those baby calves falling down into that kill trap. This would be the point in which you would want to start putting in your cows. Now, of course, in survival mode, you don't want to fall down in there. You're not going to be able to jump back out. It might be a good idea to block off some of the holes temporarily until you start getting cows loaded in there. Then after you get cows put in each pen, we're going to put little roofs over top to prevent us from falling down in. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and just spawn in the cows that I need. You would have to lead them in there and nudge them down into those holes. But I can assure you these 2 wide holes are much easier to push cows down into than the 1 wide hole of your typical cow farm. And, you know, it just makes it easier to keep it all organized, I think. And like I said, this is all a matter of preference. You could use the kill trap down below with just a cow farm where all the cows are crammed into one space if that's what you prefer. This is kind of the method I prefer. I like to, be able to see which cows have bred. You got a 1 minute cooldown with this many cows. Usually you get around to the end, come over and check to see if your babies have fallen down into the trap, then go back to the beginning and you can start feeding again, almost right away. But the last thing we need to do is just put our little roofs over top of these holes that the cows are in, and this is going to prevent you from falling down inside there. To do this, we're going to have to place in some temporary blocks, so let's go ahead and place one there. And just a couple slabs right there. We'll put in a temporary. And do this over every single one of these cattle pens. And that is it. Let's go ahead and turn on our lava pocket down here. And then we can go ahead and breed some of these cows up. And like I said, you could just come to one spot in between 4 pens and you can reach 8 cows from that one spot. Makes it pretty efficient. And you can easily tell which cows have been fed and which ones have not. Your XP, if you don't collect it from above here, it will fall down and get pushed out the little gap down on the ground by where the baby cows sit. I guess I did already feed those ones. And, yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily have to have this many cows. You could actually have more cows if you prefer. I was just trying to maximize the area used to create this farm. As if we take a peek down here, you see our babies bobbing up and down, but they do eventually slip underneath that trapdoor, like I said. And they'll just kind of hang out down here until they grow up, or I could feed them from here. Maybe. And see, he'll grow up on his own. And there's some cooked steak coming in. And that's it. Yeah, it's a nice, easy build, and it's very efficient. You can pump them cows out really quick. And you really don't have to do anything with the babies. You could just breed every now and again and walk away and come back occasionally and pick up the drops. And so, my friends, that completes today's tutorial. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button. And if you're interested in seeing more from me, consider hitting that subscribe button as well. I do take requests for these tutorials, so if there's any farms or contraptions you'd like to see tutorials for in Minecraft, please let me know about that in the comments below, and I will see if I can help you out with that. I do want to thank each and every one of you for watching, and wish you all a wonderful day!